Dr. Benson, do you have a moment? I wanted to run through Mrs. Albright's case, the 78-year-old on Ward 4 with the recurrent UTIs. She's back again, the third time in 2 months. We've done the standard urine cultures, sensitivity tests, and all have come back with E. coli susceptible to trimethoprim, which we've prescribed each time. But it just keeps recurring. Her creatinine's slightly up again, but nothing alarming. She's also reporting an increase in incontinence, which she finds very distressing.
Right, Mihira. A familiar pattern with Mrs. Albright. Are we certain she's completing the full course of antibiotics each time? Compliance issues are common in older patients, especially with complex medication regimens. We also need to rule out structural abnormalities. Has she had a recent renal ultrasound or any imaging of the urinary tract? Sometimes there's an underlying issue, like a bladder prolapse or residual urine after voiding.
Good point, Dr. Benson. We reinforced the importance of finishing the course during her last discharge. No, she hasn't had any recent imaging, actually. Her previous ones from about a year ago were unremarkable. I was actually considering whether we should broaden our investigation into her increasing frailty. She seems generally weaker, and her appetite has dropped. But given the persistent infections and now the escalating incontinence, my primary concern is to exclude any significant anatomical contributions to these recurrent events, as that's the most immediately actionable pathway for intervention.
Exactly, Mihira. Your instincts are correct. While her overall frailty certainly warrants a holistic review eventually, the recurrent infections and worsening incontinence strongly point towards an anatomical cause that might be predisposing her to these episodes. Let's get an urgent CT/KUB booked. That's our priority right now. Mihira, I understand why you'd ask. It's natural to want a quick fix when you're exhausted. I should be clear that it's actually not within my role as a nurse to prescribe medications. But more importantly, for your situation, prescription sleep medication probably isn't the best solution, even if it seems like the faster route. The medications your friend took do work, but they come with significant downsides. They can be quite habit-forming, your body can start to rely on them to sleep, and over time, you might need higher doses to get the same effect. Then, if you try to stop, the insomnia can come back even worse than before. Mihira, they also often leave you with a hangover effect the next day, grogginess, dizziness, and trouble concentrating. Given that you're already struggling to focus at work, this could actually make your daytime problems worse, not better. The strategies we've discussed aim to restore your body's natural ability to sleep, without any of those risks. It might take a little more patience, but it's a much safer and more sustainable path. Does that help explain why we're focusing on these approaches instead?